love about tournament football, though, because like you just have to play your best football for 1 month.
Exactly.
And whatever happened before and after doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Put it together for a month and anything can happen. That's why every tournament, it doesn't matter if it's AFCON, Asian Cup, Euro, Copa,
predicting,
World Cup.
forget it.
Predicting, forget it. But also, there's always one Cinderella all the time.
Okay.
And I think that's that team that you're talking about.
So who is your Cinderella, a.k.a. dark horse
well,
of
I don't know
AFCON?
if this is a Cinderella, but or a dark horse. Maybe dark horse-ish based on their odds. I think they're 11-1, but Nigeria.
Wow. Even though Boniface is injured and out for the tournament.
But, I mean, they have the best attacker in Africa. They have a pretty good midfield, Wilfred Ndidi, Alex Iwobi. Like, I like their team. I think it's a really strong team. Do I think they're better than, Senegal and Morocco? No.
Nah.
But if they win their group, if Senegal and Morocco win their group, they don't have to play either of them potentially until the semifinals.
Yeah, huge.
I think it would be Senegal. So that's why I think they can go on a run. And obviously, I'm looking at betting odds, and I'm betting. And I'm like, Nigeria 11-1 with Osimhen.
You sprinkling? You sprinkling?
I did already, yeah.
That's it.
So I don't know if that's a dark horse.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go Nigeria.
Who's your winners?
To win the whole thing?
Yeah.
So obviously, Nigeria. I would like to see Morocco win it. Because
after what they did in the World Cup.
And it's the same team.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's really changed. The only, player I'm really concerned about is probably Amrabat, because he's kind of been in and out of the Manchester United team. To be fair, I didn't watch much of him when he was at Fiorentina before the World Cup. But I know he was starting week in and week out, and he was like the linchpin to that midfield.
He was, but that's the concern, right? Amrabat, as well as Unahi, both of them have kind of fallen off since the World Cup.
Unahi was awesome at the World Cup.
Right? But then you have these players that you see in a tournament, and you're like, they're the next guy. And then they're not. And I'm curious to see how they do. I'm also curious to see about maybe one Sadio Mane or some of these other players that are playing in Saudi Arabia and how they're going to play in this tournament. Because you have to wonder, is their fitness on the same level as the European players? Is their skill level on the same level? Like, do you think we might see a decline in some of these players that are playing in Saudi Arabia right now simply because the league is just not as competitive as leagues in Europe?
I don't know if there could be a decline, but also because the football, maybe this could be ignorant of me saying this, but maybe because the football isn't as competitive as the Premier League or La Liga or Serie A, maybe they're fresher.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're not playing as many games as they probably would have in the past. So maybe Mane's fresher. I mean, you see Al Nassr, they're one of the best teams, I think, if not the best team in the Saudi League right now. He's playing with, Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm sure they're extremely fit. I'm not concerned about their fitness.
They tied Persepolis in November. Shout out.
Wow, what a shout that is. So I don't know, maybe look at it as you're not playing tough opposition week in and week out, and you're fresh for this tournament. Like you said, listen, 1 month. Play your best football. And I think if you're looking at the end, you're probably looking Senegal, Morocco. I want to throw Egypt in there too, but I'm not really too convinced.
If Mo Salah's on your team, you got to throw him in. Especially
he's got a shot. Do you remember was it last year? When the last AFCON was? Do you remember the final?
Last Senegal one, right?
Yeah, the penalties? And
yeah.
Mohammed Salah didn't take a penalty.
Yeah. Craziest decision I've ever seen made in football.
That can't happen again. He's got to be the first guy taking a pen.
Penalties are scary. Do you remember when
first player.
Croatia knocked Brazil out in the last World Cup? Neymar didn't get a chance to take the penalty.
Right.
You can't put your best at number 5. I don't know when people are going to realize this. You want to make sure you get the first penalty has to go in. It sets the tone.
I agree.
Nuts. All right.
Same thing happened with Portugal too. I can't remember when, but Ronaldo was the last taker.
And didn't take it. Yeah.
I got one more thing for AFCON. So please. I got a top scorer.
Oh wait, yeah. I was going to ask you. Whoopsies. Player to watch, top scorer. Go
okay, Mohammed Kudus.
Yes.
So he ripped it up. Maybe those 2 goals in the World Cup against South Korea. He was really good. Gets a massive move from Ajax to West Ham, where he's actually playing pretty well. And I looked at his number, and he's plus 4,000, 40-1 to be top scorer.
Nuts.
I love it.
I love that.
Mohammed Kudus, I think he rips up the tournament.
I like Ghana in this tournament. I like Ghana a lot. Yeah. I'd like to see them go the distance.